Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us. For this special comparison showcase, we're going to be looking at one of my all-time favourite figures. We've got in front of us the original 1986 Reflector, and we've also got the newer updated War for Cybertron Seige Refractor and the newer War for Cybertron Siege Reconnaissance triple pack here. Again, these are known as Refractor nowadays, but unfortunately I'm still going to be referring to them as Reflector because that's basically who they are. So what we've got in front of us, we've got the original ones loose there, and we've also got the ones in the box. They are, and this is their names, so the red one is Spectro, the middle one with always the circle on his front is known as Viewfinder, and then we've got Spyglass to the right. Now, funnily enough, in this triple pack here, that is again what they are referred to as. But when they were released individually like this, and when they're released combined, they're known as Refractor. So again, we're going to have a look at, I know there's some really obvious differences like articulation and things like that, but I think it's also good to see, just how much they've improved, and it's good to have a look, at both of them. I think that's the point of the comparison video. So we're going to start off with the G1 ones, and that is, we'll start with Spectro. So with Spectro, funnily enough, and with Spyglass, their whole chest pieces are completely die cast, so they're nice and heavy, and they do look really good. The only downside, of course, to having die cast is it can chip, and that can look quite unsightly, but I'm pretty lucky I've got a good example of one here. Of course, articulation is minimal. He can move around at the shoulders there. The legs, they're not fused together, but they are super close, and he's got knee joint articulation there if we want to be really clever, but it's mainly just to do with the transformation process. Of course, the older figures, the transformation process is incredibly simple, but that's before they were Transformers. I'm pretty sure these guys were known as Microman before that, so they've been out a lot longer than 1986 in all honesty as well. So let's have a look at one of the newer ones. Now the newer ones, I suppose the ingenious thing about this is first and foremost they called them all the same name, but that's because depending on where you put and had the accessories, they could all be basically any one of the figures. So at the moment, this has just got, it hasn't got the circle in the front there, it's attached to the back. But if I took the circle off there and put it in the front, you've there got what looks like Viewfinder. So this could be either Spectro or Spyglass. Obviously with these, the articulation is so superior. You've got so many more joints, ball and socket joints, etc. And then this one, again, had the added bonus mode that you could turn it into a space shuttle as well. If you guys want to see that and you want to see more detail on this particular one, I've done a separate video on my channel, so just search for the Reconnaissance 3 pack and you will see that in much more detail. Yeah, so these are these figures. Now these came with 3 accessories, all exactly the same. So these 3 look like blasters initially, but if you piece them all together, funnily enough, it made a tripod, which is again just so cool. They also came with 3 shields. You can see I've got them all different because that's just how I display them. 3 shields, but if you piece them all together, you could make the Viewfinder or the Spyglass at the front. So just really clever, really simple little gimmicks that just make everything, I think it's brilliant. It's so clever, from going back to these like they were years and years ago. Simple little gimmicks, simple little transformations, but they just looked so impressive. We're going to have a look at some of the boxes in a second, and obviously the boxes have improved. Usually I'd say that I don't particularly like the newer boxes because they haven't got the fabulous artwork and stuff on them, but with this, unfortunately, we've got the plainest of plain boxes you're ever going to see. It literally just says Transformer Camera, made in Japan. There's not even a barcode. There's literally nothing else on this. You can hear that the figures are inside, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide these out for a second. I'm going to keep them balancing inside like this, and then I'm going to move some of these other figures away. So the reason I'm showing you this is again because it's a comparison video, which you can see, and again it's just ironic, well not ironic, I suppose it's interesting, shall we say, that these guys were packed inside like that individually, whereas with the new box set, this is literally how it came out of the box. So the box came with a camera built up inside it. And for those of you who've not seen this box, and I know it's only a box, but look at this, it's stunning. You've got all the reflective stuff there, you've got reflective cards and patches and stuff on the box. This is one particular case which is totally different from anything else. So again, normally I'm saying the new package is quite boring, it's just a picture of them in both their modes with how many steps. But this, I mean, look at that artwork. That's brilliant. There they all are. There's all three of them, looking absolutely amazing. You can see there's all these reflective hints where the light's all catching it. It's stunning. We'll have a look at the instructions, and you can see again it is there, unfortunately still calling him refractor. And then we've got all the accessories that come with it. And again, we'll just quickly stop here, because there we've got the point where it's saying, you know, showing you the spectros there on the left, viewfinder in the middle, and spyglass on the right. Brilliant little information booklet there. In fact, while we're here, that's the spaceship mode that I'm not going to show you today because we're just talking about the cameras, but that's a bonus mode that again, all three, they could all transform into that as well. That was like a bonus mode, shall we say, because let's be honest, what Hasbro were hoping, or Takara were intending that you would then do, is go out and buy 3 of these, and then you would be able to combine it like this. And let's be honest, that I think is amazingly G1 accurate. I think it's exactly like the cartoon. It does look so good. So apart from it being very articulate, it definitely looks the part as well. The transformation process, ironically enough, is quite similar with the original. So you can work out here, and I'll show you at the back. I'm not going to waste time with the video showing you all the transformation processes, but you could see that you've got the torso of the robot and you fold the legs up at the back. You can definitely see that there. There's the torso and there's the legs folded up. So it's a teeny bit more intricately, but that's basically the main transformation process. And it hasn't really changed much over the years, as I'm about to show you now, just so we can do a very quick comparison while I'm talking to you. So I'm just taking all the weapons out of these guys' hands. They even all fit together, all together the same. It's just brilliant. It's just a huge improvement. So you can make out there, that one's not fully in, funnily enough, that dowel hasn't gone all the way in. I'm going to attempt to do that in a second, but knowing my luck, it'll fall apart. So for now, I'll just balance it there. So as I was just saying, look, we're going to fold the legs up, we can fold the arms back, and then we've got one ready there already. We've then got the same with viewfinder in the middle. Now if you push his arms right in, you've got the 2 dowels on the side, and then we'll fold the legs up. There's 2 dowels on the back of his legs, and there's 2 holes on the back of him there. There's a date stamp here. Let's just see how old it is. Does that say 83 or 82? I can't see with that light shining on it. But again, as I say, this is also a pre-transformer, so I'm pretty sure it was the Microman line beforehand. It definitely wasn't Diaclone because they weren't cars. And I don't think it was micro. It might be micro change, and I've just said that. I've probably just jinxed me. So if anybody can correct me in the comments, much appreciated. I do make mistakes from time to time, but I do also admit that Diaclone and pre-transformers isn't my forte. So here we go. We folded them up, and you can see you've got the 2 holes either side, one in his legs and one in the bottom of his torso. I'm going to very carefully pop this into there. It is a slightly more awkward because a lot of these, again, I'm sure you can appreciate, they're not really played with. I'm going to slide this in as well. Is that going to rest in? Probably not. Come on, in you go. Beautiful. And that's a bit better. So you can see now clearly that the pieces are missing, and this is what separates them straight away from these, is that you do only have these in the box set. Again, this was only released as a box set. You couldn't get these individually anywhere, and it was also even harder to get hold of because it was mail away only, whereas I know this guy's a special edition as well. But all right, nothing's holding together typically. That's better. There we go. In fact, I'm going to just grab this 2 seconds so I can now elevate it so we can just see the huge improvements that we've had over the years. There is reflector and refractor. So I just thought it'd be nice to do a comparison between 2 figures in more detail rather than doing a huge load of figures for a change. So there we go. Huge differences. Both stunning, both stunning. And even to this day, this is impressive, and even more so now with this. I think the fact that they've literally made all three of the robots identical, and yet you can still do exactly what this does. They're just getting better and better, aren't they? I've said this quite recently, quite a few times about Takara at the moment. Their figures are getting better and better, and it's a great time to be collecting Transformers. So I hope you guys enjoyed looking at the differences between them all. If you haven't seen this about, it's stunning. It really is very nice. It's definitely worth a look at if you can justify having more of the same figure, because they are, let's be honest, it is just three of the same figure, different color scheme packed in. But let's be honest, when Hasbro ever stopped just using the same mold and changing the color? I don't think they ever will they? But there you go, guys. This was the comparison of the original and new reflector figures. I hope you enjoyed looking at them. Hope it brought back some nice memories or gave you ideas of what you're after next. And keep your ideas and comments coming forward, and please take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.